Alright, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another anime live action news update video for you guys. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about the One Piece live action from Netflix. As recently, there's been some rather interesting news that just came out as of the time of the recording of this video that does have me slightly worried for season 2 and the future of the One Piece live action from Netflix. But for the past month or so, there's been little tiny bits of news here and there that have dropped regarding season 2 of the One Piece live action that just weren't necessarily enough for a full video by themselves. But now, with this recent news that came out a few hours ago, we need to talk about it. And since we're already here, we might as well go over everything else that's come out about the One Piece live action over the past month or so. So this will be a nice little news roundup video for you guys to catch up on everything that's been going on with season 2 of the One Piece live action from Netflix. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, season 2 has officially wrapped, which means all that's left now is to handle all the editing and post-production before we finally get our hands on the premiere of season 2. But yeah, they made a post on February 4th announcing its official wrap, and they showed off this really cool picture of the crew in their outfits inspired by, you know, what they wore in the anime as they were approaching the Grand Line. So that's pretty cool. It seems like we actually are gonna get our hands on season 2 this year, which I'm very excited for. In other small news, there was a whole One Piece Lakers collab that happened, and there was an actual animation of Luffy playing basketball, which was kind of cool, kind of funny, kind of unexpected, but you know. The other thing that was unexpected was Iñaki Godoy to actually be at a basketball game to, I guess, support this One Piece X Lakers collab. So that was pretty interesting and pretty cool. Another really cool thing that happened was that One Piece, the live action show from Netflix, took home 2 Emmys, which was very cool. They made a post about it on March 17th saying, One Piece just took home 2 Emmys, and we couldn't have done it without the passion of our crew and the love from our nakama. Here's to even grander adventures in season 2. So yeah, also, as of yesterday, or by the time you guys are seeing this video, it'll have been 2 days ago, but March 20th, One Piece Netflix official posted this little video that's sort of teasing Tashigi's character and the actress that's going to be playing her, Julia Rehwald. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show this on the screen for you guys because I don't think I will be copyrighted for showing it.
What did you learn?
Well, I literally did learn how to sword fight.
Most impressive character.
Robin.
Advice for your character.
Keep both feet planted on the ground. Keep your center of gravity.
One trait you wish you had.
I wish I could be as proficient with a sword as Tashigi is.
Most impressive set.
Lowdown.
What prop are you taking home?
My marine jacket and my purple gloves because they're cute.
What will you do after filming?
I'm immediately going to hug my dog.
What will you miss the most?
My friends.
Describe season 2 in 5 words.
Fun, action-packed, beautiful, heartwarming, optimistic. Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Nice little teaser for Julia and, you know, her upcoming journey of playing this character in One Piece. I think it's pretty cool, and yeah, I'm excited to see more of these, and hopefully down the road in future seasons, we get more and more, potentially. That would be cool. I do feel like the cast and crew of One Piece really does seem like they're having a lot of fun with this show, and it's really cool to just kind of see them, you know, give a little bit of insight on their characters and, you know, make us feel like we're a part of the family. But yeah, moving on to the most important news, probably the reason you guys are all here, and the reasons why I was alluding to being a bit concerned for future seasons of the One Piece live action earlier on in the video. Apparently, Matt Owens, the co-showrunner, has decided to step down from the series. It looks like he posted some words on his IG story, and he basically said, "The last 6 years working on the live action One Piece have been a life-changing journey, a dream come true. It's also been a lot. So I'm stepping off the Going Merry to take a break and focus on myself and my mental health. Thank you so much to Oda, Shueisha, Tomorrow Studios, Netflix, and the entire cast and crew for your trust, partnership, and hard work. For now, I'm gonna take a breath, do some therapy, try and rank up in Marvel Rivals, and come back refreshed for the new adventures that await. Thanks to everyone who has supported me, See you real soon. Hey man, I'm just saying, like, I know you want to take a break and all, but if you're trying to work on your mental health, Marvel Rivals might not be the way to go. Oh, that game. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, so this is interesting news to have come across yesterday at 6 p.m. And yeah, I mean, it kind of does have me a little bit concerned because, I mean, he's the co-showrunner. He seemed like he was kind of the guy that, you know, was almost like the PR in a nutshell. Like, he was the guy that was talking with, you know, Nux Taku, being like the headline of these interviews and talking with a lot of people and, you know, seemingly being the example of how someone that is kind of a nerd and an anime fan can also be working, you know, with Netflix in the Hollywood film business and making things happen the right way, right? I'm not saying all the success One Piece, the live action show, got is because of him, but I do feel like he was probably the most popular and notable credit outside of the cast that I feel like, you know, was able to kind of close the gaps of what the fans want and what Oda wants and what Hollywood wants. Like, in the interviews and stuff, he seemed like he was really passionate about One Piece and just, you know, not afraid to talk about everything and really try to like gauge what the audience and what the One Piece fans really want, which I think helped a lot in making season 1 such a success. But yeah, I think he became kind of a face that was recognizable to reach out to the fans and, you know, be able to do that. And not that there's not another face that can do that, or, you know, someone else that could become sort of that role or fill that void, but I just feel like I think he became more important to this show's success in ways that the cast and crew and everybody else working on this show may not quite realize, which makes me a bit more worried that he's dropping out than I think most people would be. But with that being said, the good news is that season 2 has finished filming. So at the very least, what has already been shot was with him working on the team there. You know, pre-production and production was with him there, and probably a bit of post-production as well, right? I'm sure he's been, you know, working with them all this time as they've already gone into post-production in February. So, you know, he probably has had a little bit of oversight in the editing room and what's been going on for this past month or so. But yeah, for now, until who knows when, he's seemingly stepping down. And I think this is kind of huge because, you know, yeah, the entire series isn't dependent on him, but he is a co-showrunner, and I do think that that is a lot to do. That is a lot of responsibility. That is a lot. I mean, this guy has done a lot for this series. Like, a lot. And I mean, yeah, they're not underestimating how much he's done, but I feel like, you know, the film industry, TV and everything, there is a lot of people that need to be doing their job to make a successful show or a successful movie, right? But I do feel like this guy is pretty important, and I feel like with him stepping down, I'm not sure if season 2 or future seasons afterwards are gonna be as successful as that season 1 was. It also kind of makes me worried because he said, you know, it's been a lot, right? And we all know there's a lot of things that happen when it comes to making live action adaptations, such as things having to change and certain people working on the project having creative differences, etc. So that makes me wonder what exactly happened that made him want to step down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if this guy is like, you know what, I need to step down, I need to go to therapy, like, hey man, this season 2 and future seasons may have been too stressful for the boy, which means this show might be on the fine line of turning into a hot mess. I kind of doubt that, but I'm just saying, like, this guy has been working on this project for 6 years. And if he's taking a step down, hey man, let's just hope that whoever decides to fill his spot has just as much passion and knowledge about the franchise, about what's been going on with this project, like everything, you know what I mean? We can only hope. So, you know, it does kind of make me worried because, again, we've been on this long era of time where anime live action has been looked down on, you know, and with One Piece season 1, we were finally starting to get to a point in time where, you know, oh, maybe anime can be done right in live action. And I do think that this guy, Matt Owens, had a lot to play in that role. And with this success of season 1, him taking a step down, it may not necessarily affect season 2, but maybe a little bit, right? And then season 3, maybe a lot more. We'll see. But again, I just hope that this doesn't lead to the One Piece live action falling apart, people hating it, and then we go back to live action anime can't be done, and you know, it just all falls apart, right? Like this is how it starts. This is how it starts. This is how everything starts falling apart. One person leaves that's been working on the project, passionate about the project, you know, for all this time, and then, you know, it just, I could just be assuming the worst case scenario. Hopefully not, right? Hopefully things stay as good as they were for season 1. I mean, we still have Oda's involvement, obviously, so that's, you know, great. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think about all of this. With one of the showrunners leaving the One Piece live action, how do you guys feel about hearing this news? And do you guys have any preferred writers, directors, showrunners that you would like to see step up and take Matt Owens' spot as co-showrunner? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what you guys thought about anything else I had to say in today's video. And if you guys enjoyed the monthly news roundup of the One Piece live action from Netflix, I would greatly appreciate leaving a like on the video and subscribing while you're here. I try my best to keep you guys informed with all the anime live action adaptations coming from Hollywood. So of course, One Piece is no exception to that. But there's a ton of other ones as well you guys may not have heard of, like the One Punch Man live action movie, the My Hero live action movie, the recently announced Claymore live action show. I mean, there's just a ton of them out there, and you know, they're all getting announced, they're all being worked on. So if you guys want to stay up to date with all of them, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That's what we talk about here. And yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And hopefully I will catch y'all in the next video.
Personal base, blaze the path.